The Glock Model 17 semi-automatic 9mm striker fire safe action pistol has got to be one of my all-time favorite handguns. Now, I'm a big 1911 fan, and I love the .45 caliber, which I do, and I have had a review of the Glock Model 30. But the Glock design to me is just simple and incredible. So this is going to be one of my favorite reviews to do, and I hope that you enjoy. The Glock's been around since 1982, which is just incredible to me because I remember when it came out, and it was accepted by the Austrian Army. And the Austrian Army, one of the prerequisites said that the gun had to be made in Austria. And I believe that Gaston Glock, the founder of Glock, was making entrenching tools at the time and had no experience whatsoever in handguns, which is just incredible to me. It replaced the old P38 9mm German Army issue, and which was a really outdated design. These guns are incredibly reliable. They feed any kind of ammunition, plus P, plus P+. They're very strong, sturdy guns. It's funny, when they first came out, a lot of people were talking about the Polymer Frame, that it was a plastic gun that could slip through airport checkpoints, etc. But of course, all those myths are gone, just like most of the gun control myths that we hear constantly. These guns function in any kind of condition. It's almost like the AK of the pistol world. And they do function in very extreme conditions, very hot, very cold. They even function underwater, which I saw a test one time. It was just unbelievable. The guns are very accurate. They're very simple. They're only about half the parts that most handguns have. 34 parts is what they have. So it's a very simple design, less to break. This Polymer Frame, which was the big news when it came out and what all the controversy was about, has really proven itself. It's very lightweight. Now we're going to check to make sure this gun is safety checked. As we can see, we've dropped the magazine. We're going to look down the chamber. Always treat a gun as if it is loaded. There are 3 safeties, speaking of which, on this gun. There are no external safeties, as you can see. All the safeties are in the trigger, and there are 3 of them. First is, this gun cannot be fired unless that little lever right there is pushed with the trigger. So you can push on the outside of the trigger, but unless that little lever is extenuated. Now, also internal, there are 2 internal safeties that are actuated by the trigger. One of them is a firing pin safety to keep the firing pin blocked. The other is a drop safety. In case the gun is dropped, it will not accidentally discharge, which is a problem with a lot of guns. So 3 external safeties. 3 internal safeties included with the trigger. Now, there are only 2 things that you can actuate on the outside of the gun. The first was the magazine release, as we've shown, and then we have the slide release right here, that little. So those are the only 2 functions on the outside of the gun. So it makes the Glock very simple. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down, and that's another simplicity or lesson in simplicity. Here and on the other side are 2 little levers. What you do first is, of course, we're going to check it one more time. Chamber's empty. We pull the trigger. Now, I drop the slide back about 1/8 of an inch, and then I take those 2 little levers and push them down, and that's it. The slide comes right off. This frame is incredibly lightweight. It is like just unbelievable. Here's the recoil spring. Comes out. Barrel comes out. This is a polygonal barrel, which these are hardened steel. They're very durable. But one thing that Glock recommends is you do not shoot reloads through these barrels. And the reason why is because of the rifling, lead deposits build up. So any soft lead bullets you really don't want to shoot in your Glock. You can reload Full Metal Jacket or hollow points that are, but not the soft lead bullets. Again, easy to, barrel goes back in, recoil spring drops. There we go. Watch, this is just incredible. It just goes like right on the rails, and then just, beep, it's done. Oops, sorry about that. Guess I'm getting excited about my Glock. This slide is made with a tenifer coating, which is it really increases the hardness of the gun. This gun is very resistant to scratches, very resistant to corrosion and wear. I mean, it's just really incredible. So, you know, I saw a few years ago where they had two Glocks where they were shooting them to get a test, a function test. They shot 100,000 rounds through each gun with 0 malfunctions. 0. And the only thing that happened is the magazine, after I think it was 80,000 rounds, quit holding the slide back. And they were only using 2 magazines, so it's just, that in itself is a testimony. Glock now makes 39 different models. This is the very first model. It's Glock 17, which it holds 17 rounds of 9mm, but the reason it's called the Model 17 was it was the 17th patent of Glock. I thought that was pretty interesting. I'd never heard that before. So the Glock Model 17, this comes in a compact version called the Model 19, which holds 15 rounds in the magazine. And then we have the Model 18, which is the same size but full automatic. And then we have the Model 26, which is the subcompact 9mm for concealed carry. There are, like I say, 39 models of the Glock handgun in current production. So there are a lot of different calibers, a lot of different choices. I would just incredibly highly recommend this pistol for anyone looking for something that is incredibly reliable and at a fair price. These run retail between $5 and $5.75 according to where you go, where you find it. I actually picked up this one on the used market for considerably less. So anyway, Glock Model 17. If you want to look at even a better review, check out Nut and Fancy. And he is really up on this Model 17 as well. Thanks a lot. Please subscribe, and we'll see you later. This is the first time I've fired this Glock Model 17. You can see it does the job.